Jordan Peterson just checked himself into rehab. His wife's dealing with heavy cancer.
Jordan Peterson's daughter, Michaela, uploaded a 9-minute video to her YouTube account titled Peterson Family Update on Thursday, September 19th. Michaela explained her father's effort to wean himself off the anti-anxiety medicine clonazepam, better known as Klonopin. In the video, Dr. Peterson, a professor of psychology at the University of Toronto and a best-selling self-help author, began taking the medicine in April to cope with his wife's terminal cancer diagnosis. But now that she has recovered, he wants to stop taking it. His wife Tammy had various difficulties throughout her treatment, so he stayed on the pills for a time and his body became extremely reliant on them. Michaela revealed that her father attempted going cold turkey on the tablets, but he developed terrible physical withdrawal symptoms. He looks like a lost puppy and is having a dreadful time, she claimed. Dr. Peterson chose to enter a New York treatment facility to wean himself off the medicine. On the most recent episode of his podcast, Joe Rogan Experience, Joe Rogan discussed Dr. Peterson's position. Peterson was sensible to go that route, according to Rogan, because it demonstrated that he was aware of his physical limitations.
Well, also, I think he's wise enough to understand his physical limitations, and I've never experienced real withdrawal.
Many people perceived Peterson as a powerful man who didn't need outside help, so it was wonderful that he didn't play into those stereotypes and decided to take issues into his own hands, according to Rogan. It is wise enough to appreciate his physical limitations, he stated on an episode of his podcast, Joe Rogan Experience, with guest comedian Mark Norman. Peterson is one of those men who makes you think, he's a bull. Don't worry, he'll be alright. But then again, everyone is human. It's the best period of your life, he continued. You were an embattled professor battling social justice warriors over some wacky rule requiring 198,000 gender pronouns, and he was like, hey, this is absurd. And then he became a national star.
If it's your best time of your life, you were an embattled professor fighting against social justice warriors and some sort of crazy law that was going to enforce 198,000 gender pronouns. And he was like, hey, this is crazy. Let's stop.
With the passage of time, he began to see all of this approaching. People are becoming more radical, and a lot of it has to do with conformity. It's unclear how long Peterson will be in rehab, but he'll most certainly be out of the public eye for a time. However, it appears that he still has the backing of many of his supporters, so maybe he will be able to navigate the situation without any complications. Meanwhile, his position has sparked a lot of conversation on social media, with many of his followers offering their own perspectives on what's going on. Most people seem to support his choice to enter treatment, and the general consensus right now is that it'll be beneficial to him in various ways. Jordan Peterson detailed his descent into drug addiction and suicidal thoughts in a recent interview, as well as his controversial Russian therapy that put him in an induced coma for 8 days. The controversial Canadian psychology professor, who has spent much of his career fighting against political correctness, spoke out about his downward spiral with his podcast host daughter, Michaela Peterson. I don't remember anything. The period in which he was transported to Russia for treatment was from December 16, 2019 to February 5, 2020, according to the self-help author. I don't remember anything at all, Peterson said. In 2018, he wrote the international hit 12 Rules for Life, an antidote to chaos, but he was also battling an addiction to benzodiazepines, which he was prescribed after a violent reaction to a strict meat and greens diet. The greatest period of human sleep deprivation ever recorded is only 11 days, according to the paper. Peterson has previously claimed that he didn't sleep for 25 days during this time. Tammy Roberts' kidney operation difficulties were resolved, but Peterson's drug addiction persisted. Before entering himself into a New York rehab in 2019, the anti-political correctness activist went to a Toronto clinic where he was reportedly taken off benzodiazepine and prescribed ketamine. Around this time, he was also diagnosed with schizophrenia. However, Peterson later published the whole audio of the conversation, revealing that Michaela claimed he had been misdiagnosed with a variety of illnesses including schizophrenia. Peterson was intubated and given propofol in Russia for undetected pneumonia so that he could be put into a coma for more than a week while medics cleaned a system of medications. According to the report, when Peterson awoke from the therapy, he had lost his ability to walk as well as a substantial portion of his memory. Peterson was transported to Florida in February after making some progress, but his discomfort and suicidal thoughts returned. Mikhaila flew her father to a private hospital in Belgrade, Serbia, where he was diagnosed with akathisia, a restlessness disorder associated to benzo withdrawal. Peterson returned to Canada to recover from akathisia after contracting the coronavirus while serving in the military. Employees at his book's publisher referred to him as an icon of white supremacy and hate speech, which he said had a negative impact on his mental health. The author reflected when challenged about the seeming irony of turning to narcotics after reminding his followers that life is about fighting through sorrow and suffering. With that, we come to the end of today's video. Do let us know your views on this video in the comment section below. We hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you did, then do leave a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Don't forget to click the bell icon to never miss out on a video from us. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.